also to help intermediaries like ourselves, supporting SMEs, to be able to do our jobs better, basically. That translated into specific activities, trying to develop specific online services and ICT tools, which Costa will talk about, and also a set of e-training courses, which the project have just developed the first pilot set of courses, and I'll be talking about those a bit later. The project started 1st of March last year and runs for 30 months. The outputs of the project primarily are targeted at these groups: farmers, food processors, food logistics and sales, agri-food support industries such as the machinery, ICT-based apps, etc., and also innovation intermediaries such as EN consultants in general, but specifically the agri-food sector group. This is the story so far. We presented the project first time in Barcelona at last year's spring meeting. We then had some participants from this group participate in the co-creation workshop of our project that took place in Amsterdam last September. That was 2 days of intensive brainstorming, and those of you that yourself inclusive Patrick, you'll remember it was an intense couple of days, but we gathered lots of information from that. And as is the challenge with the brainstorming we've had in this project, it was a hard job trying to pick out the practical way forward from that brainstorming, but we got there. And that's we gave a brief update in the Edinburgh meeting in the autumn, that we would hopefully have our first pilot resources ready by spring 2017, and we got there just a few days ago. So that is the story so far. Costa will tell you a bit more now about the online services and ICT tools.
This is working? Hello, my name is Kostas Gertzoglou, and I'm the project manager of Agrofood. I work for Qplan International, who is the coordinator of the project. And first of all, I would like to thank you very much for welcoming me here and allowing me the opportunity to actually get to meet with you people, because you are actually the people that we have been working for over the last year at Agrofood. So today I will be providing you with a sneak peek of the services we have co-created. But before we jump into the services, first I would like to say a couple of words about the aims of these services. So basically, these services are meant to be provided by the EN, and especially by you, the agri-food sector group. So with that in mind, we have designed them in order to be complementary to your current service offer, and to avoid any potential overlaps. So in order for them, we have made them easy to provide, and of course light in terms of resources and time-wide, so as they can easily fit into your already quite busy schedule, and at the same time they aim to bring value to agri-food SMEs, as well as support your targets in the context of the EN. Because ultimately what we want is for them to be successfully adopted in practice. So with that in mind, the 3 brand new innovation support services that we have co-created in the framework of our project are: number 1, find out what collaborations to seek in order to improve your business. Here, basically, we want to help you attract new clients and guide them to seek suitable collaborations for innovation through your other services. Service number 2 is identify innovation opportunities online. Here, what we aim to do is increase your potential for establishing partnership agreements by supporting clients to identify innovation opportunities online and then turn to you in order to seize them with your help. And service number 3 is use web and mobile apps to enhance collaborations. So in other words, we want to help you cooperate and keep in touch with your clients more efficiently through online applications, of course. So here we have a more in-depth look into service number 1. So the objective is to bring new clients to the EN so they can benefit from its already well-established services. And at the same time, support SMEs to better understand the partners they have to collaborate with in order to cover their innovation needs. So the target SMEs here are those that have limited over to no experience in collaborative innovation, and again, low or no cooperation with the AEN. What we aim to provide them is tailored recommendations with respect to collaborations that can help them innovate and grow internationally. We are not looking to pinpoint to exact partners they should collaborate with, but provide them more general yet still meaningful recommendations. For example, they could be a technology provider that can help them a little bit improve their production, or a scientific expert that can enhance or tinker a little bit with the characteristics of the product in order to meet a trending customer need, anything like that. Or it could even be in terms of geographic level, to pinpoint to a specific partner at a foreign country that the SME might be interested. So what we aim to achieve through this way is to have SMEs better understand their needs in terms of innovation, and especially what are the benefits they stand to gain from collaborative innovation, and in this way to have them more interested in receiving suitable EEN services that can help them establish the recommended collaborations. So in two simple steps, the process is first to understand the SME's needs for collaboration. So depending of how familiar we are with the customer, we do a little online search for information to get familiar with the customer's activity and its sector. Here we can use the Agrofood Smart Tools. It's specific tools that we have developed especially to bring into one place different web sources specialized to the agri-food sector. And after we have collected all the necessary information, we schedule and have a short discussion with the customer, trying to find out what they do well, what they don't do, and especially what aspect of their business can collaborative innovation really help them. So after we pinpoint the SME main needs and characteristics, we then recommend potential collaboration to meet those needs. And as a follow-up, we introduce the SME to other suitable support services that can help them achieve or establish those collaborations. So what SMEs gain through this process is a better understanding of the relative position in the agri-food value chain, their competitive advantages, their weaknesses, the risks and opportunities there are for them to seize by collaborating and innovating, and of course identifying the potential collaborations that will indeed help them cover their innovation needs and achieve their business goals. So what you gain is a quick, easy, and structured way to approach new clients for innovation support services, and those new clients that are interested in finding magic partners with support could eventually lead you into a greater potential for PAs. So this is the first service, and going over to the second one, identify innovation opportunities online. Here our objective is to increase your opportunities for establishing partnership agreements, and at the same time support SMEs to actively find collaboration opportunities that can be seized with the help of the AEN. So the target SMEs here are either new or even existing clients, but who are willing and driven to collaborate already. SMEs here typically will have some experience in collaborative innovation, moderate ICT skills, but still would lack the necessary knowledge of all of the agri-food web sources that could be used for collaboration and innovation. So what we aim to provide those SMEs is with personalized recommendations for suitable online collaboration platforms, and especially how to effectively adopt them in practice and use them. So those platforms could be like from specialized platforms where agri-food stakeholders go over there, meet, talk, and exchange needs or knowledge, or post a solution, a technological solution, or post needs that need to be solved. Or it could be something more mainstream, more general, something like a mainstream social network such as LinkedIn, where they can go over there for networking and meeting other companies. So what we aim to achieve here is to have SMEs actively identify innovation opportunities online and then turn to the AEN in order to effectively seize those opportunities. So I've been talking about innovation opportunities and all that, but what we really mean here is anything solve a problem that my client has. It could be a new trend in a foreign market that seems to, that my product seems to be more or less, suitable to address. Anything that has to do with innovation and improving my business and going international. So, what have I done? Here. So, again, the service in two simple steps. First, again, if we're familiar with a customer, we can skip that. But if we're not, then we have to do some short online search to find out some information about the client and the sector. We can use the Agrofood Smart Tools again here. And then again, we have a brief discussion with the client in order to find out what platform would be most suitable to the need. After we find out that, we schedule a presentation where we can introduce the SME to online collaboration and the recommended platforms. We can do that face-to-face. We can do that through a digital meeting to save some time and save some cost. We can even schedule a group presentation for several SMEs to attend. And overall, we have already prepared some ready-made material that you can use in order to prepare and present appropriate platforms to the client. So, as a follow-up, the SME monitors the online platforms, tries to identify opportunities that can be seized in order to innovate and collaborate with other partners. The consultant collects feedback and encourages the SME to ask for support whenever they identify an opportunity. And in the end, what we aim to achieve is for the SME to come back to you in order to seize the opportunity, because it is ultimately you that can provide, that assurance, that reliability of, connecting an SME to another partner, to another country, from another country. So, what SMEs gain here are, of course, increased opportunities for establishing collaboration that can help them solve their problems, innovate and grow. And what you gain is to take advantage of this additional potential case of collaboration that you can support generated through the SME's online activity, and once again have increased opportunities for achieving PAs. So, service number 3, use web and mobile apps to enhance collaborations. Here what we aim to do is, first of all, facilitate the cooperation between you and the SME, and in this way, have the SME also facilitate their own collaborations with their other business or innovation partners. So in order to do that, we have to support the SMEs to use widely used ICT applications for online collaboration, which could be like from simple stuff just to communicate with Skype or Google Hangouts, or share some files with Dropbox or Google Drive, or even a little bit more intricate stuff like manage a project using Trello, for example, or Yammer. So target SMEs here are SMEs that are quite proficient in collaborating, but still do not have such knowledge of online collaboration practices and tools. But SMEs that want to initiate a new collaboration with the EN or another partner that is remote, and as well groups of SMEs that want to collaborate together. So what we aim to provide them is some personalized recommendation for suitable apps for online collaboration. Once again, we have prepared some indicative apps that can be used in this respect, but of course it is important for you to recommend to the SME apps that you already use in order to collaborate, in order to make this easier for you. So what we aim to achieve is SMEs to efficiently collaborate remotely with you and their international partners. So in 2 simple steps of the process, we have a short discussion with the client in order to identify what do they need exactly, what are their collaboration needs, and what application could best fit those needs. We schedule a presentation either remotely or face-to-face, provide guidance on how to use the app and how to integrate it in their work routine. Again, either face-to-face or either a webinar for more clients. And as I said, we have already prepared several presentations that can be used for these applications. So as a follow-up, consultants cooperate with the SME using those tools. And in this way, the SMEs gain valuable knowledge of online collaboration tools, but not only that, but real-life practice within the context of the collaboration between the EN and the SME, so that in that way they make more convenient and effective collaborations, they save time, cost, and effort, and the same applies also also to you. You have your management clients to be more convenient, more efficient. You have less time and effort spent for the delivery of the services, and in general make it easier to keep in touch, sustain relations, and follow up with your clients. In other words, you will make a little bit easier, your life a little bit easier. And talking about making your life easier, we have prepared the Agrofood Services Toolkit, which contains all the readily available material that you will need in order to provide those services. We have guidelines and tips on how to provide the services. We have indicative questionnaires that you can use in order to have all those discussions we talked about with the clients, ready-made presentations for online collaboration platforms and applications, concise templates for easily delivering the outputs to the client, and of course standardized forms for following up and collecting feedback. So of course this will be freely available at our web portal, and we plan on constantly enriching it over the course of the project. So if you are interested in getting involved in this process, you will have to wait a little bit more, because we are currently going a first closed testing round of the services, where the Agrofood Consortium is providing services to real cases of SMEs in order to further fine-tune them and ultimately provide them to you during the second open testing round, which starts in August 2017. From there on, you will be able to freely use and benefit from the services. All you will have to do is to access our e-learning offer and complete the short courses we have on the services. Then after that, you can provide the service to your clients, see if those services actually help you achieve your targets, make your life easier, and of course, what we would like from you is to share your experience and feedback with us. And I cannot really stress enough how important this is for the project, because it is ultimately your opinion that will help us make those services how you want them, and to see if everything that we have in mind really actually can help you reach your targets and ultimately help those SMEs develop their business. So stay tuned with us. We will be coming back to you about the services, not just yet, but really soon. But in the meantime, Henry will explain how you can get involved into.
Well, we open. Yeah. Cheers. Thanks. Well, we open the presentation. Just to say, as that round of testing for the services will open in August, and we have our next meeting in Sevilla in September, there will be an excellent opportunity for those first few weeks of September with which to test those services, so that at the next meeting we'll have a chance to discuss your experiences of those services, and so help us to refine them even further. We have 3 cycles of refinement of these services, so that they will become publicly available at the end of the project. But until then, we appreciate that it's only by testing and fine-tuning and validating and getting your valuable opinions back that we can actually produce something that we believe will stand the robust scrutiny of the outside world and deliver the intended impact. Yes, Debbie. No, it's an EU-funded project. At the moment, the stuff is being developed in-house, of course. It's copyrighted and so on. But there will be a public license, what they call it, a Creative Commons license, so that the materials can be used publicly. But they won't be able to be tampered with or changed. But they will be publicly available at the end of the project. So this is we still have a mountain ahead of us, but we've reached the first base camp, if you like. And I'll just take us through now what the e-learning resources, how far we've come with those, which are ready for you to look at and test and give your opinion on, etc. Just as a reminder, because I presented this to you all last year, but certainly for the sake of our new colleagues, this is an overview of the result of all that feedback we had, both from our early surveys to SMEs and to SME consultants, and from the co-creation workshop in September. We arrived at 13 or 14 e-learning modules. they cover industry knowledge. In that we have a module of one for technologies, one for the agri-food ecosystem, one for access to networks in the industry, and agri-food trends. There's a section for collaboration skills, one for identifying and connecting potential partners, one for maneuvering IP issues, negotiating intellectual property rights issues safely, how to keep collaboration focused, regarding innovation management skills, which is the overlap with the innovation module, innovation work package of our network, and so that we don't end up reinventing the wheel. It's something I'll be keen to be in touch with Debbie on, so that we can see how these inputs can help the innovation process that we want to engage in our network. They have one module for laying the foundation to work on innovation management, and going into a bit more depth, working on innovation management with the client. There's a module on the ICT skills, and one on soft skills, like how to use your powers of persuasion to steer the client in one direction or another, etc., etc., and how to turn a negative into a positive, blah, blah, blah. So there's quite a few things in there which we'd love you to have a look at. And what I'd like to recommend is, if you could, during the rest of this month, you can register quite easily. We'll show you the registration page, and just look in on one of those modules at least, if you could. If you all looked at one of those modules, you'd give us an excellent feedback with which to progress with the project and tweak it even further. So this is how we've structured the design process. With that feedback that we've gained so far, all the module creators were required to gather the content of their module in a PowerPoint format. This was presented to our partner Europa Media from Hungary, who are responsible for, they're a media company that do interactive e-learning resources using professional software. And basically from that, that is our starting point. That's our first base camp. And now we hope to get feedback both on the content that we've gathered, but also on the e-learning platform itself. Could it be that the color scheme is off-putting? Could it be that it's a bit laborious, that the mode of delivery is not appropriate, or it could be improved, whether it be we don't need a video for this, we could use, I don't know, snapshots or something. We have a voiceover for this, but we could actually use a video for this particular exercise. So any comments or experiences that you have had from e-learning resources in other aspects of your work, if you see that there could be a good method or an application or a methodology that could be applicable to what we're doing here, we'd love to hear from you. Here's just a few examples of what the modules are looking like. This was one of the innovation management modules. It just gives you an overview of how far you are into the module. What you'll get is a visual cue of the content of the module, and the narrative will be taking you through the key aspects of that content. Basically, once the module the input is complete, you will have a short quiz or some checking of your understanding. Otherwise, we need to validate that you have learned something at the end of the process in some way, so and that you haven't just dozed off somewhere or you've gone for a coffee and come back and then realize, oh, the thing's finished. So there are interactive quizzes, ways of checking your knowledge with click and drag answers and I don't know what. So hopefully it will increase the interest level, so that you feel that there is a fun element to do this, and that you're not in a classroom setting doing an exam. So there is a very conscious and deliberate move to try and make this as brief as possible because of our time, the demands on our time, but to be as entertaining, if you like, as possible, as interesting as possible, so that we actually remember. It's a method to help us remember the knowledge that we've just gained. Some videos have been specially prepared for this content with situation role plays. Now the registration, I know it's a bit longer than some of the other registrations you'd seen. That's partly because, as I say, this is, we have to give you a username and password for the site to access, to get in order to see the modules. So, but it just gives basic information about yourself, your organization, etc., so that you can create a username and password and get it. It's all free. You will then find the broad blocks of knowledge, and within each of those are the modules for industry knowledge, collaboration skills, support service skills, innovation management, soft skills, and ICT skills. Once you're in, you will see that the different elements, or you have a map, if you like, of what time commitment each module will demand of you. So you can see at a glance how long it's going to take. You have a progress bar to indicate how far you've gone along a particular element. And then once you've finished a given element, you will find you've been ticked off. The system does this automatically for you, so it tracks your progress. And so at a glance, you know where you stand and how far you've got to go. Another example of this is a state-of-the-art technologies module, talking about wireless sensors networks. And again, you've got a progress bar indicating how far you've gone along, how far you've got to go. But another nice feature of this system is that the phone rings or your boss calls you into his office, you can hit the pause button, you can go away, or even if you have to switch the computer down, when you reboot, it will ask you, do you want to resume where you left off? So you're not losing anything. It's completely flexible to suit your office environment. And this is the thing that we've tried to, came back from the feedback of SME intermediary needs, is that they need something that's flexible enough to fit into their work, basically. They can't go into another room or sit in or dedicate specific times or specific hours in order to participate, or that this whole exercise would never get off the ground. So it's literally a plug-in to your daily routine to accommodate your work style, and we hope that with your inputs, and this is why we're now in, sorry, did I have anything to say? Yeah, the German partner is the Improve Academy. An academy that actually already provides training for EEN staff. It runs courses, and we had a visit at our institution only a few months ago on innovation management. And as a result, they have lent their expertise to our consortium and provided our platform with a certification, if you like, system, where if you cover half the modules, you're officially an Inno4 Agrofood guide. If you cover 80% of the modules, that's 10 out of the 14, you're officially an Inno4 Agrofood advisor. And if you cover all 14, you become an Inno4 Agrofood expert. And that's certified with the organization's kite mark. They are an authority in issuing certifications. So there may be, even from a professional standpoint, something to put on your CV at the end of it. So we've tried to come up with a win-win situation. You're improving your knowledge. You're not just you're not getting paid for it. We appreciate that. But you come out with something at the end of the day you have in your hand, and also hopefully enhanced knowledge to better facilitate your jobs in serving your clients and producing better results. That's the bottom line. So the way forward. The e-learning is immediately accessible now for SME intermediaries like yourselves. There's the web link. You just need to go through the registration process. It's just 2 minutes. And then at the end of each module, if you were to pick one module at least, there is a click for feedback at the end of that. We'd very much encourage you to click that button and to just give you, it's got grades, or, it's the selections of, say, from 1 to 5. Do you think this was appropriate material? Do you think blah blah the platform was appropriate for this type of exercise? Do you blah blah blah? And you just click one. It's another 2-minute exercise, just going through those. And there might be a free text field to give 1 or 2 sentences of recommendation as to how polite recommendations, how we can prove. There we go. So the thing is, I would very much encourage you during the rest of, I know we've got the Easter holidays ahead of us, during April, if you could, do the registration, log on and click and go through it, just one module at least, because in the first week of May, we have a webinar coming up to discuss the experiences of intermediaries like yourselves about the content that we've prepared so far. And I've checked the calendar, the EEN calendar. There are no events on that day. So we have an excellent opportunity, local obligations permitting. Yes, Roger? How long is the webinar? I understand it's about an hour, no more than an hour and a half. Yeah. It's 10 a.m. CET for the 5th of May. And you can register your interest very simply just by putting in the title Agrofood Webinar to the email address info@improveinnovation.com. We have a unique opportunity with a new chairman, a new structure of organizing our activities, and the development of this project at its early stage of development to take full advantage and to steer its outputs to help us as much as possible with minimal effort. That's the challenge, and also to help to prevent us from reinventing the wheel, as we've already came out of the discussions yesterday, both for the human resources and the innovation management. I put my name down for both. They're just two work packages which can be directly affected by this, or be directly helped by this, and there may be others, I don't know. Sorry, Roger. Oh, it's with an agri with an I. Don't ask me why. It's agri with an I. Yeah, it is. It's not a typo. Yeah. That's the input. Do we have? How are we doing time-wise, Patrick? Okay, because I say that because it might be possible to give a very brief demonstration of one of them. Costa, Boris. Username and login. Okay. No, don't worry. It's okay. But I would say, this is your homework. If you could do the registration, log in, and just pick a module that may be of interest to yourself now, or perhaps one of those areas which you feel you need a little bit of additional knowledge, maybe, a little bit of additional guidance to improve your confidence level in front of your clients. And this is the whole purpose of the exercise from an intermediary point of view. We want to improve your confidence in front of your clients and make us all look more professional in what we do.
Just a suggestion to respect a little bit the timing.
Yes.
So we'd like to keep the lunch between 1:30 and 2:30, but for those who are interested in demonstration, to have it, for example, at 2:15. If you are there, so then everybody has 3/4 lunch at least, and those who are interested can join the demonstration at 2:15.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Okay, everyone, thank you.
Thank you, and I invite to join the floor Nino Salerno, Antonio Mercadante, and Ivana Piccitu will give their presentations. Just a brief introduction. Nino Salerno is our vice chairman with Delegate for Internationalization, and he's the owner of one of the leading companies in the packaging sector in Italy, but he's also a member of the board of Recrea Consortium that deals with circular economy. So thank you, Nino.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome in our beautiful city. And I hope you stay well in this time. So we will speak about the problem of environment. So in Italy exists CONAI. Siamo bloccati, only a moment. Buongiorno. Noi ci siamo sentiti qualche volta. Francesco, siamo atterrati. Okay, we are ready. Sorry for the problem. Recrea is part of the consortium CONAI that in Italy is a private consortium of firms created by the Italian government working to recovery and recycling of packaging in Italy. CONAI is self-financing and has a statutory recycled target. With more than 1,400,000 members, packaging producers and users, is the largest consortium in Europe. CONAI works through 6 materials: steel, aluminium, paper, wood, plastic and glass, which guarantee links with the local administration for the collection, recovery and packaging. Recrea is the part of CONAI that work with metal. The environmental contribution CONAI, more simple CAC, splits the contribution as an additional cost of separate collection between producers of steel and user. The CAC reflects each material cost on a collection and is therefore competitive because there is a big difference for the different treatment of the steel, aluminium, paper, wood, plastic and glass. You know, in the slide you see that there is a big difference of price. This is a comparison of recycling performance and now in Italy, especially in the north, we have the very good performance. In the south of Italy, the percentage is more or less. But now, the National Steel Consortium, that was established in November 97, is a modern and efficient recycling organization, so we see the activity. Recrea brings together suppliers, importers, and manufacturers of steel packaging. Today are the 272 consortium members. Aim of Recrea, recovering a minimum of 50% of steel packaging placed in the market, inform users about the best process of waste treatment, coordinate collection flow, ensure recycling at steel mills. Here you can see in this picture, you see the self-manufacturers importers of fields, about 10 members. 22 members are the steel manufacturer, and 240 are the packaging manufacturer and importing of packaging. In this picture, you see the flows that happen from the steel mills to the recovery plants, selection plants, and the municipality that have a very big importance in this moment, cooperate also with ANCI. ANCI is the Association of the Commons. Mostly the CAC environmental contribution of CONAI, part generated from the steel packaging scrape, and the main cost free paid to municipality for collection weight based. So the price that the community pay is 4 ton. Recrea organizes, manages the collection and the recycling of packaging steel from separate flows. Collection of packaging waste created by the household and that with the municipality. All other industrial packaging waste going to steel service continents. There are 3 types of collection from the waste: for the cans and the plastic, for the cans, aluminium and glass. Here you can see how mechanical selection of municipal waste, the selection also of ferrous fraction and downstream from the incineration process. Here there are described the packaging waste in particular plants that give a fast treatment of the waste. And here you can see some important numbers. The packaging consumption in tons, the total amounts collected, that is near to the packaging consumption, a total amount recycled. The percentage of packaging recycled compared to the packaging consumed, the municipality covered by ANCI CONAI with the agreement, population covered by ANCI CONAI, and the population covered in percentage. Here we have how do the further increase to the recycling rates. Packaging producers need to be involved to reach increase the recycling targets, substantial financial contribution involved in target setting. Significant opportunity in south of Italy due to the low recycling rates. How difference in the recycling rates between North and South Italy. New agreements with the municipality in Campania, Naples, Sicily and Puglia, assistance in the setting up system for separate collection. rather easy to increase the collection of recycling volumes, underlying and understanding avoid landing filling without prior treatment, NG mechanical biological treatment. Recrea aims to increase the recovery of steel packaging using this technology. Intermediate step wherever separate collection is not implemented. The mission of Recrea are successful communication and raising public awareness. Goal great in environmental conscious culture, AG by environmental education focused on the importance of waste collection, recycling and recovery and of packaging steel. Recrea intensifies the effort with activities which focus on three main areas: education school, education adult, and company level. And there are many activities oriented to the school and the community. For example, Acciaio Amico is an initiative revolved for the primary school. In 11 edition has involved 45,000 students. Children receive education kits and a visit of expert of Recrea for a lesson, and after they manufacture artistic creation by using packaging steel. Another manifestation is Ambarabar nursery rim. The students make a rim about recycling of steel packaging. There are also many activities by radio, Artivestai company of Rai 2 in Italy, and the sport radio in TV, etc. For concluding, in Ecomondo Fair, there are some activity oriented to understand that the metal, the iron, is forever. So this is the activity of Consortium Recrea. Thank you very much. Sorry for my fast presentation. Thank you.
Welcome once again. Thank you for this opportunity to gather to Assindustria. I think yesterday all of you have a dinner and the food, I think it was good. And it was a good, buon gusto, very good tasty. And this is important because the cluster of the Agrofood that I represent, it's about food, the ingredient. We go straight from the company who are the producer and we go to the client. We do not have any broker between our association and the client. This is important because so many times in the trade show the people think that through the consortium you have to pay a fee to go through the market. It's not like that. You go through between the producer and you go straight to the England or Germany. You don't have to pass by something else. In Sicily, there are so many producers, but there are not so many of them that want to stay together. It's very hard to find people ready to make a groupage. Sometimes you can find a very good olive oil, and then you have to find another one for the pasta. You need to go all around to find another one for the fish. The big opportunity of the cluster is the idea to stay together, and from there try to make a groupage that save a lot of money and time. The three associations of consortium are already companies that was in the market since 25 years ago. And the first one is Sicily Experience from the part of the south of Sicily, but it also includes the part of north of Sicily. The second one is First in Sicily, that is more about familiar families that are in the business of the food since 45 years. And the third one is Pro Export Sicily, that is the first association that was born in 2008 and is still on the market. This is important because in Sicily you can see so many startups, but after a while, after the startup, after the project run out, there are not so many idea of the project. From this side, we have three associations that are already in the market that started at the beginning in 2008, and it's very important to stay on the market after so much time. The cluster Il Buon Gusto Siciliano bring together excellent made in Sicily, heritage of the Agrofood. What is important, what is the topic of today, is to be able to have a networking business between our companies that are on the market and your associations that make the amplificazione. That amplifies this opportunity, that give you the possibility to go straight to the producer. Sometimes when we call some company in North Europe and we say, hi, we are a company, we are a producer, we are in Sicily, you are talking to the producer. They don't trust us. You are a broker. It cannot be that I go straight to the price, to the right price from the producer. This is the main important thing of the networking. I'm not the representative of the manager. I'm just the one that make the marketing from that. And then you go straight through internet to the company. This is very important. As you can see, the number of the cluster is not the number of a single company. Inside this cluster, there are companies that have exported more than 3 million euro only of olive oil, for instance. But this is not the topic. The topic is the possibility to have all the company together with different price, different olive oil, different wine, different fish, preserved. This is the main activity of the association, to make a comparison between different associations and go through the best solution for price and quality. As you can see, we have a three strong personality together. We have 30 districts that try to go through the main focus, that is the internationalization. The turnover of all the companies is more than 80 million euro. Is more than 40 companies and 300 employees. So for the people that are looking for little business, or for the people that are looking for big company, we are together. So we can have from the little order to the big order. And then, once again, you go straight to the producer. You don't go through the association that has a broker and make a price list for foreign buyer. Which are the companies inside the three associations? We have Frantoio Cutrera, that is olive oil, Sabadì, that is chocolate, Morettino coffee, that is about coffee. Then we have Mongibella cheese. We have Gulfi, that is wine. Tari, that is beer, because in Sicily we make beer. I'm sorry for German, but we make beer as well. And then we have the salami, il chiaramontano, and the flour, Molino del Ponto. Just flour meal. And This is a very good association because, as you can see, they make chocolate and they are so good to be able to sell to Switzerland. So, see if someone from Switzerland going to buy chocolate made in Sicily, it means that it's good. It's good.
Today the representative from the region Sicily was mentioning Modica chocolate is going to get EU certification. It's the first one in Europe, and he loves to discuss.
Okay, then we have the olive oil. The olive oil is very a good one. It's the export. It's the first olive oil sale in Italy. All over Italy, Italy, sì. Okay. Italy. So by Farinetti. It's the first one. So it means that in Italy we have so many olive oil. In all the region there are so many olive oil, and this is the first for sale aboard in Farinetti store. Then we have coffee, Morettino coffee, that is a very good one. And then we have Molini del Ponte. I don't want to go through all of them because there are so many. But the important thing is that through your network, the client, the people that are interested, go straight to the producer. The one with the chocolate is the owner of the company. It's not the marketing. And so for all the others.
And most of them already participated in some of your events. Some participated in Neofan, others participated or registered in the Tour d'Europe, or are registering now. They registered in Stockholm and they registered in Aluga. So they are already ready for the EN network.
Yes. Then the second association is Pro Export Sicily. We have wine. We have all kind of Sicilian specialists. Campodoro is food preserved. We have Tomarchio that made the soft drinks. The lemon soda is the first and the only inside Lidl, for instance. So it's not just a Sicilian market. We are talking about international market. Then we have Salerno packaging for all around the packaging and stuff, and we know. Moreover, we have the cannoli, but we are not talking about a little cannoli for a little store. We are talking about a big company that export to Canada from between 8 and 10 container every year. So we are talking about a big company. So if you're looking for a different, instead of give me 100 pieces, this is the answer. Then we have Macaluso, this is about tuna preserved, the red tuna and yellow tuna. And then we have the anchovy from Balistreri. It is one of the most sell in all around Italy. And then olive oil. Last one. We have an association bright new. They started 2 months ago, no, 2.5 months ago, after European Europe Network mission. They met together in October. They understood they was able to stay together, and they started to make the issue for all the paper to make the memorandum of understanding. So they did, and there is a Madonia olive oil, contorno for the eggplant salad. I don't know if some of you have already tried. I said, Giada, that some of this company met together in November for one of your mission, and then
They participated in China mission.
the China mission. Casale Romano with the contorno, they made.
Some of them are ready for a mission to Taiwan. It's a side project that came out from the Enterprise Network and made together with 5 other partners from 5 other EN partners. So it's all a network of networks that's working very well, where they are all very committed and involved.
So one of the results to go to China was to be able to stay together 3-4 days, to know each other, and to start a new business. They start a new business called the Consortium First in Sicily, and so Casale Romano about marmalade with the contorno and cafe, Mexican cafe. They met together and they start a new business, and now they are on the business. Of course, we want to export our quality food. Our target is North Europe. We are already in the market in USA since 45 years. We want to export basically in the north of Europe, but we are very open to China, to all the other new market for us. We are looking for the classic distributor channels, mass retail channel, distributor, Horeca, delicatessen store, because like I said at the beginning, we have little business and big business enterprise, so we are able to have more possibility. Yeah, all these companies are already in the market. It means that they already go to the trade show. They go to Brussels trade show for the sea trade. We are also interested in internship program. So if you have any other training program in order to send some people that want to know more about how Sicilian business works in a foreign country, we are more than happy to work on that. And the next trade shows that we are planning to go are Tutto Food, like everybody know, in Milan. Then exactly. Then we have the Summer Fancy Food in New York, and then Anuga, where we already set up so many stands since 1.5 years ago. Thank you for your time.
So, Cronache di Gusto is a network which puts together and provides information about the design and development of cultural and gastronomic events, and organize educational tours for journalists or people who is interested to know more about our food, our culture, and of gastronomy in general, and the territory. Cronache di Gusto is an online newspaper which was founded 10 years ago by Fabrizio Carrera, journalist who is passionate of high food and wine, of high quality food and wine. And the news in this journal, online journal, are updated 24 hours a day. And the news encompasses anything from the current economic, climate to restaurant and wine reviews. There are inquiries on the enogastronomic sector and interview with the leader of enoculture and enogastronomic. And so this journal gives the opportunity to know more and more about this sector. Some of the events organized by our network include Best in Sicily, that is an event that awards the best excellence, gastronomic excellence in Sicily. For example, we give the award to the best cheesemakers, to the best winemakers, to the best pastrymen, to the best chef, hotels, all regarding the culture of food and wine. And in particular, every year in October, we organize an event that is called Taormina Gourmet. The next edition will be next October from the 21st to the 23rd of October. And for Cronache di Gusto is an important event because during these 3 days we invite famous winemakers, chefs, and we organize testing, educational testing, where people, journalists or buyers can know more about the wine, because we invite directly the producer, so the producer can talk, can tell their story, their territory. And we had famous journalists in the past edition, so every year we want to we want to know, we want to have more people. In particular, for the next edition, we would like to have also buyers, because yes, because we think that journalists are important, but buyers are people that are that buy the products, that are interested to products. And so another event is Vinitaly. In fact, in a few days we'll be in Verona, where with the Sicilian region, we are organize wine testing. And we had lots of people interested in this testing. And we are, during our events, we organize, we call press tour, because our goal is to have journalists, or in this case buyers, and we go around the winery, around the restaurant, the hotel, to know, to show them our territory, because we think that is the best way to show how the people do, how the territory and the culture. So, yeah. Yeah.
Which I remind you is the place where at the end of May we'll have the G7. And the second one is organizing together educational tours.
So we say for a joke that probably G7 is in Taormina because they know our events, but it's a joke. And the team is, in the team there are Fabrizio Carrera, our director, me, and Clara Minissale, a journalist that she is an expert of food style and creator of the show cooking events that we organize with chefs, where chefs show and tells about their culture, their food culture. And our short-term project is to edit our journal in English for foreign people who are passionate to food, culture, and whatever about this world. And for us, there are countless reasons to choose Sicily, for the sun, for the food, and for our culture. So the reason why we're proud to live in Sicily. Thanks for your attention.
We might stop. I think that, and we may leave the other presentations for the second part of the day, the other regional presentations. So we stop now, and if you have questions for the speakers, they'll be happy to answer you. Thank you. And we'll be here again at 2:30, but for the tasting of the for Agrofood, 2:15. Break. Yes. Do you want to do it now? Yes. Then, are you dead? Are you still alive? Okay. Grazie. Certo, te le sto aprendo. Sì, sì, sì. Campania. Eccoti qua.
Hello. So, just a short presentation about my region, that is Campania region. It is a region that has got a very strategical geographical position because it is in the south of Italy and is in the Mediterranean area on the Tyrrhenian Sea. The names of my region comes from Latin, from Campania Felix, that means happy land. I don't know if it's for the position, for the people, for the food, I don't know. Anyway, we are happy. It is a region that has a very long coastline of about 350 kilometers on the Tyrrhenian Sea. And, we are famous also for our gulfs. We have two gulfs from Naples and Salerno, and three very nice islands that probably some of you already know. Capri, Ischia, and Procida, that are just in front of Naples. They are about half an hour or 1 hour from Naples. It depends on the boat you take, the fast boat or the other one. The region has a population of about 5.8 million of inhabitants. It is the second region for inhabitants after Lombardy, I think, and is divided into 5 provinces: Naples, Benevento, Avellino, Caserta, and Salerno. The agro-food industry, of course, is one of the most important sectors in Campania. It employs about 80,000 people. That is about 5% of the manpower in Campania region. We have about 6,000 companies and 30,000 employees. But our companies are very small ones. We have, the dimension is about 5 employees for each company. And we have very few companies with more than 50 employees. Anyway, we have some industrial food clusters. The most important are the Nocera Inferiore, Gragnano industrial districts that are one for, tomato, San Marzano tomato, that is a very typical kind of tomato produced in this land. The other one is the Gragnano consortium, the Gragnano pasta consortium. This is a very particular kind of pasta that is also IGT certificated because it is drawn through bronze dye that gives a kind of, rugged surface to pasta, which keeps sauce very, on it. So you can taste sauce, tomato sauce with pasta. It's very nice taste. In these districts, we have more than 5,000 companies and about 5,000 employees. Also in Campania, we have a lot of DOP products, about 13 DOP products and about 9 IGP products. among the ones, the DOP products, I have to mention, of course, mozzarella o bufala, or buffalo mozzarella, that is produced according very special rules. And we have a consortium of tutela of mozzarella di bufala that granted all the quality of this kind of cheese or mozzarella, and is the only one who has a European DOP recognition. And the other one I have already mentioned is San Marzano tomato. That is, as I told you, a typical kind of tomato. Is a little bit long in shape and has a bittersweet taste. And is the one that we use usually on pizza, on traditional Neapolitan pizza. So just some words on pizza napoletana. As already Giada told, it was created after 18th century. The main ingredients of pizza are, of course, extra virgin olive oil, oregano for the marinara pizza, and extra virgin olive oil, mozzarella, and basil for the margherita. That are the two typical Napolitan pizza, real one. But what are really important are also the ingredients for the dough. You know, it's water, fresh beer yeast, and sea salt. That are very important ingredients that make pizza different from the other, the Napolitan pizza different from the others. So we are not certain about the real origin of pizza, but we are certain that Naples has is the king of pizza. Let me say that. What about wines? Yes, we have in Campania about 100 wine varieties. The king of the Campania wine is Ianico, that has Greek origin and was cultivated in Campania, has been cultivated in Campania since a long time. We have 4 DOCG appellation for wines in Campania that are Taurasi, Fiano di Avellino, Falerno del Massico, and Grego di Tufo. Yes, just few dates about data about import-export. You know, the most exported products to European country are fruit and vegetables, of course, and it's strange, but for imported products, we have dairy products from Europe. It's one of the most important imported product. Just last slide is about export and import to the main partners from Europe. For us, the main one is the UK and German, even if there was a decrease in the last year. For import, we have the first partner is Germany, and then Spain, but also, you know, Netherlands, and for import also Poland is a good position. That's all. If you want some more information, you can contact me. Thank you very much.
So, brief presentation of my region, Piemonte region, that is located in the northwest of Italy and is in a strategic position between Northern Europe and the Mediterranean basin, and represents over 32% of Italy's GDP. And we are the top Italian region for private investment in research and development, and of course in different sectors, among which agriculture and food processing. In Piemonte region, we have 60,000 agrofood companies that employs 100,000 people, so it's an important sector for the region. And We offer a wide range of delicacies like other regions in Italy, wines, sweets and chocolates, cheeses, cured meats, rice, pasta, the famous truffle. We have white truffle and black truffle, and there is an important fair in the autumn in our region, and fruit, mainly apples, kiwi, plums and peaches. And we have lots of quality certification also for our products. I can highlight you that we have 13 protected denomination of origin, among which 9 are cheeses. And we have 8 protected geographical indication, among which there is the hazelnut, from which we make Nutella, because Ferrero is based in our region, in Piemonte region, in Alba. And so I want to highlight wine and rice because they are particularly appreciated worldwide. Now we are bringing to the Vinitaly Fair 200 companies from Piemonte region, and we have many certification for these wines, and I invite you to come to Piemonte and try some wine, some good wine. And also rice production is very important, in particular in 3 provinces, Vercelli, Novara and Alessandria provinces that are on the border with Lombardy. And so we produce 30% of European production. That is almost 0.8 million tons per year. And as we have many clusters and research centers in our region, we have the Scientific Technological Agri-Food Park that puts together companies with research subjects. We have the AgroInnova, is an agro-environmental and agro-food center of the University of Turin. We have a specific department of agriculture, forest and food sciences from the University of Turin that carries out research and technology transfer in the agri-food sectors. And in our region is located the University of Gastronomic Sciences. That is a private institution. It's a unique institution, and its goal is to create research and education for renewing farming methods, protecting biodiversity, and building an organic relationship between gastronomy and agricultural science. And there are students that are coming from all over the world to study in this university. And finally, there is Istituto Zooprofilattico Sperimentale del Piemonte Liguria Valle d'Aosta, that is an institute that studies and guarantees consumers' health and is controlling food and feed production. And so that's it, and so we can go to lunch.
And surprisingly enough, we managed to conclude the first half of the day on time. So thanks you all for your patience, but I thought it well, lots of inspirations, and see you later. Enjoy your lunch.
Forse in un'ora ce la fa a fare l'elaborazione.